Well, hello, happy Easter Wednesday to everyone out there. You might be noticing some things behind me that we saw in an earlier video. We've got our California Adventure Food and Wine Festival Mickey there. We have a white hyacinth plant that's moved over there, another white hyacinth plant there, but right there, on top of my air freshener, looks like the Easter Bunny left an Easter egg there, so we found a hidden Easter egg as well too. Well, thanks for coming back for our second episode in this All About Me series. We're looking through all of my plush figures, and yesterday we did just the Mickey figures, but I have a special surprise. I left one out yesterday to kind of make the transition and the bridge to today's episode. So I have another special Mickey, which brings us up to a total of 12. And I left it out yesterday because it was included in this set you can get at Walmart, and it came with a blanket. And the blanket looks like this, right? And there's Mickey with his Buffalo Bills uniform on, nice logo. And it came with a plush figurine, a medium-sized one, we'll say, of Mickey in his Buffalo Bills jersey. With his pants, even has the Bills logo, just like the actual uniform does. He's a little hairy. He's from Cat Hair. He's been around for a while. I don't quite recall how I got this. Sometimes I think someone at work got this for me as a gift, or I may have bought it myself at Walmart. I'm leaning more towards someone at work got this for me, but regardless, this is Buffalo Bills Mickey, and he's going to help us introduce today's topic, which is Disney plushes in general. So we won't see any more Mickey Mouse. So goodbye, Mickey. Say goodbye to everybody. There he goes. No more Mickey today. We're going to look at anything that is Disney related but is not Mickey Mouse. So, let's take a look at our new plushes today related to the wonderful world of Disney. You might be wondering about my shirt. WED Enterprises Incorporated. This is my Walt Disney Imagineering exclusive t-shirt. This was the original name of Imagineering, WED, which stood for Walter Elias Disney. These are Walt Disney's initials, and so this is what he had set up when he was originally creating Disneyland. It was still secret, and it was still prototype things, and who knows what would have happened. And WED Enterprises eventually became Walt Disney Imagineering. So this is my Disney Imagineering shirt as we look through all of the different plushes I have. So we're going to start with Marie from the Aristocats. So I have a cat. Everybody knows that, at least you should at this point. And everybody wants to be a cat. So here is Marie from the Aristocats. I always liked the look of her. She's very soft. This one with the pink bow, very nice for Easter time. So often we see Disney dogs, right? And we rarely see Disney cats, but here is Marie from the Aristocats. Continuing our animal theme, we have another early character from a very famous movie, recently remade. He can fly. He shouldn't, but he can fly. Here he comes. That's right, it's Dumbo. Dumbo the Flying Elephant. So I have a small little Dumbo here as well. Obviously a very popular ride at both parks, actually all parks, and most people, that's their first ride. Everyone wants to go on Dumbo. I feel bad for those parents with the young kids who have to wait in line forever to ride Dumbo. I did it. It's exciting. I've ridden it many times, especially as a young kid. I'm sure that's all I wanted to ride was Dumbo. Who doesn't want to fly into the sky like Dumbo? But little Dumbo here. I think this is from the Disney store, I want to say. Looks like it. So this is from the Disney store. And I probably got this when I picked up the movie. They were re-releasing all of the animated movies a few years ago, and I was collecting those on DVD and things like that. So, Dumbo. Animal themes continue. Let's do another animal, shall we? Yeah, let's do another animal. Speaking of movie re-releases, a few years ago they released The Lion King on DVD, Blu-ray, all sorts of different things, and the anniversary edition, I believe. And I picked that one up. It came with all sorts of collectible things, lithographs and stuff. But the reason why I ordered it from the Disney store was to get this really sweet SIMBA, I Can't Wait to Be King plush. So he's got the leaves from the flowers around his neck when he does that great song, "Oh, I just can't wait to be king." And we have a nice little Disney Store limited edition pin here. Kind of see that there. Decent size. I'd call this a medium-sized one, medium to large. Or to drop him here. He already wants to go back and do his thing, but you can see the great detail here of SIMBA with the flower leaves around him, and that nice little mane as he jumps out and he sings his song. So he's got his little paw prints here. So technically another Disney cat, if you will. It's a large cat though, a lion. So we've seen 2 Disney cats so far. This is a special edition one, and it's really cool. So Simba from the I Just Can't Wait to Be King scene in The Lion King. But that's not the only Simba I have. Are you excited? I have this Simba as well too from the Lion King musical. Picked this up when I saw it for the very first time at Shays a couple years ago. Really great detail here. We got the mask, right? Of course, we don't see the human actor that will be portraying him, so I like this a lot. So we get that nice look. We got all of the different details from the costume in the musical. Great stage musical, of course, from Disney Theatrical Productions. But here's another Simba. So not quite the animated version, but the great Broadway spectacular of The Lion King. Simba again. So 2 Simbas. So far we've seen 3 Disney cats, technically. So we've been looking at some Disney cats. My next 2 friends here might want to avoid those Disney cats. You might remember yesterday I said that I was very excited for the Epcot rebrand to go on one of my favorite rides from Disneyland Paris, which was Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. And of course on my shelf, Remy and Emile. So we've got Remy here with his spoon, Emile eating some dumpster cheese most likely, but these I picked up just at a Walmart or something like that. You can tell it has a very generic, actually it's from the Disney store, but it still very much could have been at Walmart when they were selling different things at different times. But regardless, these were not purchased at a park. These aren't from Epcot or anything like that, but I think they look really nice. Remy with his wooden spoon and his little chef hat, and of course big old Emile eating his cheese. So we have some Remy ones from Pixar's Ratatouille. Better watch out for those Disney cats though. They don't always get along. So hope you like these ones, Remy and Emile. So a little trivia question for you right now. What's one of my favorite wild animals? I'll give you a second to think. Again, the question, what's one of my favorite wild animals? Give up? You probably didn't guess it anyway. I have a few, but I really like raccoons. So for whatever reason, I like the way that they look with the striped pattern on them, the way that they kind of move around and whatnot. So this should be no surprise that I have a Rocket Raccoon stuffed figure with this nice little striped tail. He's got that look on him. He's ready to go do things. So this was an Easter present for me a few years ago in my Easter basket. Rocket Raccoon. He's got his little pack on the back, so he, he's cybernetic, I believe. So he's a genetic modified creature here. Raccoons shouldn't talk like that. They always tease him in the movie about that, right? About what he is. But Rocket Raccoon, voiced by Bradley Cooper in the movies, and he's on my shelf here. He's ready to roll. Save the Guardians. Side note, the ride at Disney's California Adventure, the Breakout, Guardians of the Galaxy Breakout, really outstanding. I was really upset when they got rid of Tower of Terror, but at least they still have it at Walt Disney World. And now it gives you 2 different versions, so you can enjoy 2 different types of rides, one at Walt Disney World and one at Disneyland. And now we've got Rocket Raccoon in the park. So, Rocket Raccoon, everyone. Guardians of the Galaxy. I was saying yesterday, I have a whole bunch more, some really amazing ones at my parents' house that I haven't moved into my new place yet. I will get those eventually, but after this quarantine's over, we're going to do a look at some of my not with me currently plushes. But we're going to look at some classic ones now from some, we saw Dumbo, but how about Tweedledee and Tweedledum? Look at that old Disney Store logo here. This is very old. This is from when I was a kid for sure. So we got Tweedledee and Tweedledum together, and there's some Velcro on there so their hands can join together and whatnot. But great look together here from the classic animated picture Alice in Wonderland. They've got their little bibs on there so you know which one's which. It's really, really quite outstanding. So I've had these. This is more like a Beanie Baby one. Can you kind of hear that? These are kind of like Beanie Babies in a way. They're not so much plush figures as they are bean bag figures, but they fit, and they're pretty cool. So Tweedledee and Tweedledum. In the previous video, I showed you my 60th anniversary Mickey Mouse, but during the 60th anniversary as well, for annual pass holders, they did all sorts of special plush releases. And my sister, who was an annual pass holder at the time, was able to get me one for one of my favorite characters, which is Pinocchio. So they kind of have them grayed out, like if they were in black and white, which is really, really cool. And we have this really awesome logo here, which was part of the Disneyland 60th. And I have this shirt as well. You can see it goes from black and white to color to modern and stuff like that. So there's Mickey in his blue. So really cool. But this was Pinocchio, as I said. There were a whole bunch I would have loved to have gotten. I think Mr. Toad was one of them as well too. But I have this really awesome Pinocchio figure from the Disneyland 60th Anniversary Diamond Celebration that my sister was able to get for me. So we've seen Dumbo, we've seen characters from Alice in Wonderland, and we've now seen Pinocchio. And so we have a bunch of good things as well too. Some of these early animated features. Even yesterday we saw the Mickey Mouse Sorcerer Mickey from Fantasia. So it's not just the modern movies and the modern interpretations. I like all of the classic movies as well too. So my black and white anniversary Pinocchio. Trivia question number 2. What is my favorite Disney and or Pixar movie? So you can pick from either Disney or Pixar. What is my favorite movie? I'll give you a second to think. Alright, time's up. If you answered Toy Story, you are correct. So I have a good little sample here of Toy Story plushes. So let's take a look and see what I have. First off, of course, we have one of my favorite characters from the series, which is Ham, voiced by John Ratzenberger. I just think that Ham is an outstanding character. This is a really well done, very soft. It has this coin slot here. It has the bottom here where the money would pop out at the end. With the little tail. Love putting him up on my shelf, and kind of reminds me to act like Ham in a way. Sort of, you know, silly, goofy, matter of fact, but, you know, can be the voice of reason at times. But there's Ham. Who do we have next? Let's see who we have next. Well, this isn't my favorite movie of the 4. We also have Lotso Huggin' Bear from Toy Story 3. Doesn't quite smell like strawberries anymore. He did at the time. Smells like strawberries. Pretty much worn off at this point, which is fine. I think he's a good character though. You know, he's a evil character for sure. But I have my little Lotso Huggin' Bear here. I have another Toy Story 3 character. Again, Toy Story 3 isn't necessarily my favorite movie, but dear old Chuckles the clown here, another sad part of that movie. But here's Chuckles looking upset, you know, being forgotten and left out. But how can you not want a Chuckles the clown plush figure? Toy Story 2 might be my favorite movie, but I think I'd go back and forth between 1 and 2. But I definitely enjoy this character from Toy Story 2, without a doubt. WHEEZY. How can you not like a character who sings like Robert Goulet, but has a problem with his squeaker? That's why you can't really, you know, I think I hear a song coming on, right? I mean, it's just such a great part of that movie, and the microphone hitting them with the outtakes, and then when he sings, it's unbelievable. He gets this new squeaker. So, WHEEZY, easily a top 5 of my collection, because he's just such a great character all around. Now, one of my all-time favorite characters, though, in the Toy Story movie. Now, Woody's my favorite character, but Mr. Potato Head, voiced by Don Rickles, is easily right up there, along with Ham and Rex. Those are probably my favorite characters. So Woody, Ham, Rex, Mr. Potato Head, and then, of course, side characters like WHEEZY and others. But I have this really awesome Mr. Potato Head in his Barker outfit from the ride Toy Story Midway Mania at the Disney parks, one of my all-time favorite rides. I even have the Nintendo Wii game so I could play it at home. He has a little, you know, pouch here in the back where his parts would have been, right? It's like a real Mr. Potato Head. He's got his microphone, so he can do his singing there for the ride, Midway Mania. Don't know if they sell these anymore. I've had this for a long time. I can even tell by looking at the tag on the back. I've had this for a very long time, and I really like this one. A, I like the ride. B, I like the character, and I just think it looks awesome. If you've never been there before, they have a giant version of this Mr. Potato Head, a giant animatronic outside the ride, and he moves, and he talks to you, and he does all sorts of different things. So, Mr. Potato Head from the ride at Walt Disney World and Disneyland, Toy Story, Midway Mania. Long before there was Mickey Mouse, Walt Disney had another character that was a critical hit. Unfortunately, he lost the rights to him for many years until a few years back, ABC and NBC made a trade. ABC traded Al Michaels so that he could do the Sunday Night Football games on NBC, and in return, Universal gave back to ABC, which was owned by Disney, the rights to this character, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. So Oswald was Walt's first character, and he lost him in a dispute financially, he lost the character. That could have been the end of the company. But eventually Mickey Mouse came around, and we all know the story from there. So I have this small little Oswald, which came from the Disney store when they started to reintroduce him. But I have a better one, a much better one. This is the biggest one I'm going to show for today. At the rebrand of California Adventure, they had a little gas station there, which was themed to Oswald. And so I got this giant knit Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Got this at the same time I bought the red car trolley Mickey. And so during that rebrand year of 2012. And so I have this right here now, this wonderful looking knit together. You can see like it was, you know, handmade at home. Disney Parks Authentic. Got the tag there, Disney Parks Authentic. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. I even have a nice pair of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit ears. Maybe we'll do a series on the different ears that I have. I don't have that many actually, but Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Important part of Disney history, now back in the family where he belongs. Another of my favorite attractions at any of the Disney theme parks is Muppet Vision 3D. And I have a few different Muppet plush figures, but I only have one here with me, but it's the best one. Because I have the Swedish Chef. Boonga boonga boinga. I mean, how can you not love the Swedish Chef? This is a classic character all around, and now I have him on my shelf in my bedroom, so I can have a good chuckle every morning when I wake up and remember, hey, life's not that bad. We can always get through it with a good sense of humor, and as long as we're trying, hey, we're doing the best we can do. Swedish Chef from the Muppets. Love it. You might remember I showed you Captain Mickey from the Disney Cruise Line, but I also have Sailor Goofy. So there's Sailor Goofy, a Disney dog this time. We've seen some Disney cats, and a rabbit, and some mice, but here is Goofy with his Disney Cruise Line cap, ready to go on adventures across the 7 seas. So Sailor Goofy, Disney Cruise Line Authentic. But I have another cool Disney Cruise Line plush figure, we'll say. Specialty thing. Let's take a look at that one. And here is that special Disney Cruise Line figure. It's the ship itself. I couldn't pass this one up at all. You got the 2 stacks. It's like the ships have. You got the pool, the Mickey-shaped pool. Through the portholes, you have the different characters represented. You got the back of the ship, and this one says Disney Cruise Line. Normally they're named like Disney Dream or Disney Magic or Disney Wonder or Disney Fantasy, and then there's a character hanging off the back that represents it. You got Disney here, the Disney Cruise Line logo on the front. But why I like this is not just the boat, because it opens up. We have miniature versions of our favorite Disney characters. So we have, and I've never cut them out so I don't want to lose them, we have Captain Mickey, Minnie, and another Disney dog, Pluto. So those all fit right inside. As you can see, there's a nice little spot. They're all still connected, so I don't want to lose them. Guys, I've never done it kind of like a barrel full of monkeys, right? A little Toy Story thing there, but I don't want to lose them. And they're all right along the front here. So we have these little versions. So again, we got another Mickey version here, as we saw yesterday. On the bottom of their feet here, we have a little Disney Cruise Line logo. Kind of maybe come in focus there a little bit. Kind of neat. And we got Pluto with his little scarf on. It says Pluto and Minnie in their different sailing costumes. So this one's really, really neat, really cool. I don't know if they sell this anymore on the ships. I haven't been there in a while, like I said. But they all fit nicely on the inside. And yes, you might say, hey, you said no more Mickey. That's correct. But Mickey is just part of this. This is what I really wanted to show you, and it came with that. We're going to see one other Mickey now, right now, too. Again, part of something separate. Take a look at this cool one that I have. Now I have this cool 2-part Mickey and Minnie, which I got for Valentine's Day a few years ago. And it's from Hallmark, and I really like it. It's the old school. You got Minnie with her little hat and a flower and the skirt. They have, they have their tails out the back. But look, did you hear it? Watch. They kiss each other, right? I mean, how can you not love that? Little magnet in there as well, too. Mickey and Minnie, wholesome things here. Things that we definitely need in this current situation we find ourselves in. More compassion, more kindness. And look, how can you not like Minnie kissing Mickey and leaving a little, you know, kiss mark on his cheek there. So Minnie and Mickey. Minnie deserves her own sort of figure as well too, and I have one of those. Let's take a look. So here's a Minnie which is holding a balloon which says celebrate every day. So I got this probably in 2009 when I went down there, usually in November, because when I was working at Ohio State at the time, the residence hall that I was working, we went all out at Disney with our theme. We made a park map to help people find out where things were in the residence hall. We gave out buttons like they do at, or pins like they do at Disney, about celebrate all sorts of things. The theme was celebrate every day, and so I have my celebrate every day balloon with my Minnie Mouse. So it looks really nice. So she sits up there with all the different Mickeys as well. So I do have a Minnie figure as well. Now that's all the ones I'm going to show for today. I left a whole bunch out. Some we might even see in another video in this series here, this collections series. We got a few more to go here with plushes. We're not quite done yet. So I hope that you've liked these so far. If you have, make sure you like and let me know which ones you liked out of this one. Did you find a favorite one today? And join me in my next episode when we look at my next set of plushes. I'll give you a little preview. It's not Disney anymore. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.